This is the most ambitious alternate universe ever constructed in science fiction, and it starts with changing a single minus sign to a plus sign. The Orthogonal Trilogy by Greg Egan represents what happens when a mathematician with a degree from the University of Western Australia decides to rebuild the laws of nature from the ground up, and then writes 80,000 words of physics notes just to make sure it all holds together. That's 70% the length of Tolkien's Silmarillion, except instead of elves and creation myths, it's wave mechanics and spacetime diagrams. Here's what makes this so extraordinary. In our universe, the distance between two events in spacetime follows a specific formula. You take the squares of the three spatial dimensions, add them together, and then subtract the square of the time dimension. That subtraction, that single minus sign, is what makes time fundamentally different from space. It's why you can walk north and south but can only move forward in time. Physicists call this a Lorentzian metric, and it's the bedrock upon which Einstein built both special and general relativity. Egan asked a deceptively simple question. What if that minus sign were a plus sign? In the orthogonal universe, the spacetime distance formula becomes the square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared plus t squared. Everything added, nothing subtracted. Time is no longer a different kind of dimension, it's geometrically identical to the three spatial dimensions. This is called a Riemannian metric, and while the math looks like a trivial change, the consequences are staggering. As Nebula Award winner Jerry Oltian put it, when most people switch a minus sign for a plus, they redo the math. Egan redoes the entire universe. And he's right, because that one change cascades through every branch of physics. Start with the most dramatic consequence. There is no universal speed limit. In our universe, nothing can travel faster than light, and that speed limit emerges directly from the minus sign in our space-time metric. Remove it, and the limit vanishes entirely. In the orthogonal universe, you can accelerate without bound. A ship traveling 5 light-years might appear to observers back home as moving at 1.25 times the speed of light, while the crew on board measures the trip as taking 6.4 years, with only 4 years passing at home. That leads to the second major difference, and it's the one that makes the entire trilogy possible. Time dilation is reversed. In our universe, the faster you travel, the slower your clock ticks relative to someone standing still. That's the famous twin paradox. One twin rockets away at near light speed, comes back, and finds their sibling has aged decades while they've barely changed. In the orthogonal universe, it works the opposite way. The travelers experience more time than those who stay behind. Generations can be born, live full lives, and die aboard a moving ship while only a few years pass on the homeworld. That reversal is the entire premise of the plot. When the inhabitants of the homeworld discover that a barrage of high-velocity meteors called hurtlers threatens their planet, they launch a generation ship, an entire mountain propelled into space and maintained by clockwork mechanisms. The ship is called the Peerless, and the plan is elegant. By exploiting reverse time dilation, the crew will have centuries of subjective time to develop the technology needed to save their world, while only years elapse back home. Now consider what happens to light itself. In this universe, the speed of light depends on its wavelength. Violet light, with its shorter wavelength, travels faster than red light. When you look up at a distant star, the violet light arrives years or even centuries before the red light does. If that star has any sideways motion at all, the different colors arrive from slightly different positions, so instead of seeing white points of light in the night sky, you see rainbow-colored streaks. Egan calls these color trails, and they're how astronomers in this universe measure stellar velocities. There's more. Because the metric treats all 4 dimensions equally, electromagnetic waves behave differently at a fundamental level. In our universe, light has 2 polarizations. In the orthogonal universe, it has 2 transverse components like ours, and a longitudinal one. 2 crossed polarizing filters, which in our universe would block all light, would still transmit that longitudinal component. Photons carry rest mass in this universe, which means electrons don't exist. No electrons means no electronics. Instead, the inhabitants of the Peerless develop photonics, using massive photons to build their technology the way we use electrons. And the odd energetics of this Riemannian spacetime mean they can access the equivalent of nuclear energy through simple chemistry. Egan didn't just sketch these ideas, he derived them. Starting in June 2010, more than a year before the first novel was published, he began posting detailed physics notes with over 100 diagrams on his personal website. He worked out the wave equations, the thermodynamics, the optics, the particle physics. He even adapted one of the most famous experiments in real physics history, the 1919 Eddington experiment that confirmed general relativity by measuring the deflection of starlight by the sun. In the orthogonal universe, the roles are reversed, and Newton's theory actually predicts greater deflection than the relativistic one does. The trilogy traces an arc of scientific discovery that mirrors our own history but compressed and rearranged. In The Clockwork Rocket, the characters reach an understanding of spacetime at a technological level comparable to our Enlightenment, as if Newton had discovered relativity. In The Eternal Flame, set 2 generations later aboard the Peerless, they develop quantum mechanics and laser technology. By The Arrows of Time, 6 generations in, they've moved from clockwork and sunstone to photonics, and they face a question that cuts to the heart of what it means to live in a universe with 4 equivalent dimensions. Can you build a messaging system that receives information from your own future? And if you can, should you? That question tears their society apart. The aliens themselves are remarkable. Egan designed flexible beings who continuously remodel their bodies using internal light signals, and their reproduction is unlike anything in terrestrial biology. When a female is triggered by a male, she becomes dormant, adopts a smooth elliptical shape, and splits into 2 to 4 children. The mother ceases to exist. Children almost always come in pairs, 1 male and 1 female, in a relationship called cause. They have a saying in this universe: something is as impossible as knowing your mother. Not everyone loves this approach. One reviewer described the novels as probably the hardest hard science fiction they'd ever read. Another felt that Egan was primarily interested in the physics and merely parachuted characters and plot in because the format demanded it. Stephen Hawking once warned that every equation in a popular book halves its sales. Egan, undeterred, filled his novels with equations and diagrams anyway. But Karen Burnham, a physicist and engineer at NASA's Johnson Space Center, who wrote the definitive critical study of Egan's work, offers a more generous reading. She argues that everyone should be fine with these books unless you absolutely hate math and science and also aren't willing to skim. Egan himself has been characteristically direct about his philosophy. The real trick, he said, is to take it for granted that the reader is intelligent, engaged, and curious, and would be bitterly disappointed if a story contained an amazing idea, but then dumbed it down or glossed over the details. The Orthogonal Trilogy has been called possibly the most comprehensively developed alternate cosmology universe that science fiction will ever produce. When Christopher Nolan explored time reversal in Tenet, readers of the Orthogonal series recognized the territory, though Egan had explored it with far more rigor years earlier. The trilogy earned Locus Award nominations and contributed to Egan winning the Japanese Seiun Award for Best Translated Fiction 8 times. As of 2025, he continues writing and publishing, most recently releasing the novel Morphotrophic in 2024, 1+Sine, an entire universe rebuilt from scratch. That's what happens when a mathematician takes fiction seriously.